A very exclusive visit to a parliament. That's what I got for you today in this video. So, let's get started. Hi, I'm Mark. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a very special edition of German Politics Explained. I have some very exclusive content for you today. You and me, we've been invited to a very exclusive visit in the State Parliament of North Rhine-Westphalia by a Member of Parliament. The Member of Parliament, Simone Wendland, invited us to come to the State Parliament to ask questions, and she invited us to show us around. And that's what we're going to do in this video. We had a very great tour there. We even were allowed to be there when she received a visitors group from her constituency, and a very special one as well. We accompanied the Buddhist Community of Münster on their visit as well. We got a very close look at the whole Parliament building, and of course I'm going to start with the questions to MP Simone Wendland, who was really kind to have us in her office. I hope you enjoyed. Let's just start with our tour. Welcome to the State Parliament of North Rhine-Westphalia. Now we are with our special guest, the Member of Parliament Simone Wendland. Thank you for having us, and thank you for answering some questions for my viewers.
It's a pleasure.
And I'm going to start right now because it's a very, very busy day in the State Parliament, and we can be glad that she could offer us some time now. So, number one already, where are we exactly right now?
We are at Düsseldorf, the House of Parliament in Düsseldorf, directly at the Rhine.
And this place where we are right at the moment with this wonderful wall tattoo right behind us?
This is my office, and my hometown is Münster, so this is the skyline of Münster. I feel a bit home when I'm sitting here.
Yeah, me too. As you know already, I am from Münster, and she is the MP of my constituency, so you can guess that I really like this ward. Then, what party do you represent?
Well, I'm a member of the CDU, that is the Christian Democratic Party. I wouldn't say a conservative party, a Christian party.
But for my English viewers, it is kind of an equivalent to a reasonable Tory party.
Yeah, perhaps.
Well, I almost blotted out this question already, or the answer to this question, because which is your constituency?
My constituency is Münster Nord, where I'm living at home. So this is my Wahlkreis.
And since when do you represent your constituents in this parliament?
Since the 14th of May 2017.
So quite
the day
some
of the
time.
election of the new parliament.
And as far as I know, every MP has some special topics he's taking or she's taking care of. What are your special topics for your work as an MP?
Well, my special topics are law, because in my private life I'm a lawyer, and so I have to do everything concerning law and equality as well.
And as you can remember from one of my previous videos about German politics, that is a big part in German politics anyway. And regarding your topics, in what committees do you work?
I'm working in several committees over 3 or 4 days a week, all over the day. One is the law committee, which is my main committee, the equality committee, which is very important to me, and an investigation committee as well, and several smaller committees. I think it takes too long time.
But what I wanted to show was, as an MP in a state parliament, which you usually don't know because you do know the Scottish Assembly or the Welsh Assembly, but you don't know the state parliaments like we have them in Germany, it is really a hell of a busy work.
Yeah, I'm very busy at the moment. Yeah.
So, and well, you already answered that one. When was the current parliament elected?
Yeah, and on May 14th, 2017. A day I won't ever forget.
I can believe so, because that is your first time in parliament.
Yeah, it's my first time in parliament, and it's a new world for me.
And how long is a parliamentary session in North Rhine-Westphalia?
It's 5 years, which is pretty long, but you need that time to start working, to get into the work. So I'm very happy that we have enough time to work here in Düsseldorf and Münster as well.
Great. And for you as an information, the session is a session. There are no queen speeches in between, so you don't have 1 year and then you have to start with the law building again. It's the whole 5 years you use for legislation, and there's no interruption in that. How many MPs does the State Parliament of North Rhine-Westphalia have?
At the moment we have 199 MPs, and the majority is 100, so we have just one vote majority, and this is the majority of my party, the CDU, and the FDP, which are the Liberals.
And how many weeks a year are you in session in the State Parliament?
No, more than holidays. The parliament recess is about 12 weeks a year, but meanwhile you're working at your home office, in my case in Münster.
And so that means at least 40 weeks a year parliamentaries are dealing with Parliament directly, and that is quite a short recess, I must say. How many parties are represented at the moment in this Parliament?
Well, we have the CDU, which has the majority, the FDP, the SPD, which are the Social Democrats, the AFD, which are the far right, and some independent MPs.
Great. So the next question was about the parties that are here, so you already answered them, thank you very much. And you kind of did that before, but I still want to talk a little bit about the government.
Mm-hmm.
And so you might repeat, what parties form the government?
The parties CDU, my party, and the FDP, which have together secretaries, and the Prime Minister is from my party, from the CDU.
Especially because my British viewers, which make a quarter of my viewers, are not very familiar with coalitions. I mean, you all know how the last coalition in the UK went. Coalitions are nothing unusual in Germany, and so one question would be, was the forming of this coalition between the Conservatives and the Liberals here in North Rhine-Westphalia complicated, or was it a quite smooth process?
It was quite easy to build a coalition. That was not surprising, because for 7 years before, the CDU and the FDP were the opposition party, and they already knew what they would do if they would be the reigning party. So it was a smooth thing, I think, and it already works very good, because we always find a compromise, and it's not hard to discuss.
What are the determinative topics for the parliamentary work at the moment?
Security, inner security, jobs, flats, school, more teachers, more police on the streets, and the usual things.
Yeah, those are definitely topics you know very well at the moment from the campaign that started before there's an election at all, but you do know them.
But one very special thing for North Rhine-Westphalia is Heimat. The topic is feeling at home somewhere, which means everyone is welcome, and people like to be aware of what they have here, which is even climate, you know.
Yeah, that's a big topic at the moment. Being here for a good 2 years, what are the biggest challenges for you as an MP personally, coming here and being here?
I live several lives. The life in my hometown, Münster, is very different from here. When I'm in Düsseldorf, in my office here, I'm always running. I'm always looking on my iPhone how many steps I did over the day, and that's a lot. So I'm always running when I'm here, and I have one meeting after the other. It's a very busy time here, and when I'm in Münster, it's more or less that I'm visiting people and interested in what people are doing in my hometown, and getting their problems to go to Düsseldorf and trying to find a solution for them.
So thank you very much for answering these questions, and thank you very much for showing us around later on a little bit more. It's really an honor for us, especially you probably have never been to a state parliament in Germany, and so we are really grateful that you do this. For now already, thank you, even if we're going to see you later again.
Yeah, thank you, and best wishes to my friends in Britain. So,
and around the world.
And the Commonwealth. I have relatives in South Africa, And yeah, I'm very familiar with Great Britain.
And we do meanwhile have visitors and audience from Jamaica, from the US, from Australia, so greetings from here as well, and let's get on. As I said, it's quite an exclusive visit we have there for you. Mrs. Wendland showed us around throughout Parliament and tried to show us a lot, but Parliament is in session. So many rooms are occupied by members of Parliament, by fractions, by committees, but yet we still got a lot to see. We are now on the Parliament floor. There's where the entrance to the seats of the Parliament is. Visitors are one floor upstairs. There's the entrance to some of the visitor seats. But it's a very nice building, as you can see. There's light everywhere, there's art everywhere. It's quite open. You always meet members of Parliament. We ran into ministers in between. Mrs. Wendland explained several things to me. I'm gonna tell you in this video, especially about this elevator behind us, which you're gonna learn more about the floor we are on, and especially the doors we are moving to right now after we passed another great piece of art there in Parliament. And about the doors we just stopped, she's explaining it first for German viewers, but I'm gonna explain it to you very quickly.
We are right now at three very important doors. It's like your lobbies in Westminster. We have a yes door, we have a no door, but we also have abstain door, which you don't have in Westminster. You just stay away if you don't want to vote. But we have a yes door, a no door, and an abstain door. But they're not used for every voting. They're just, if it's not clear if a majority is there, then a special thing called Hammelsprung can be put on the order, and then it's used, but not usually. It doesn't happen that often.
Mrs. Wendland also took us on top of the library, which is in the lower level. You can see behind us, and it's a very open, very lightful area, and it's obviously great to do research there.
So we're now on the balcony of Parliament. What you see behind us is the entrance. The Parliament is built completely as a circle. As I just learned when we made our German video here, they know that, it is very good for...
It should be. It should be good for communication. So if you're sitting in a circle, it's better to watch anyone and talk to anyone.
Yeah, and not as confrontal as some other things you might know.
Yeah.
But it's a brilliant view from here. I'm really glad you show our people that. You've seen the Rhine already on the other side?
Yeah,
that's great.
As Mrs. Wendland said, there is not much time to waste in this Parliament, so they even have a hairdresser in Parliament. The main stairs between the lobby and the plenum level are very often used photo site. Every group that goes there uses these stairs to have a photo. This Parliament is not only built very practical, it's built with a very wonderful view. We're standing right in front of the Rhine on the terrace of the Parliament, and as you can see, the sun has just left us, but it's wonderful for a working place. Wherever you go, you see wonderful architecture, but from every window in this Parliament, you have a great view. Once again, you see the Rhine. Isn't that a great view? I wish I would work in a place like that, with a view like that, I mean not the work. When a public building is built in North Rhine-Westphalia, 1.5% of the costs has to be invested in art. And so Mrs. Wendland showed us a lot of art that is present everywhere in Parliament. For example, the Phoenix in the lobby, which is quite a well-known piece of art there, and even the former speakers of Parliament are there in a form of art.
We had a wonderful lunch here at Parliament today, and now we will join a visitors group that's visiting Simone Wendland today at the Parliament from the Buddhist Community in Münster. We're looking forward to this visit. We're gonna accompany them while they are being shown through the Parliament. They will join for a Parliament session for an hour. There we won't film. We could have asked for the permission, but we thought that would have been too much now. But later we'll see the group of the Buddhist Community in Münster together with Simone Wendland as well.
As a member of Parliament, Mrs. Wendland welcomes groups from her constituency. And on our visit day, we were lucky that we could accompany a visitor group from Münster, not only her constituency, but also our hometown. And they were members of the Buddhist Community in Münster. And they don't only often invite the politicians to their celebrations, to their temple, to get to know more about their religion. They also now came to visit our Parliament to learn a bit more about politics. As you could see, the master of the community was getting the views of some other visitors, because it's a little bit more exotic than the usual visitor in Parliament, but they're just people from Münster. They, of course, got a tour through Parliament by a member of the Parliament team. First of all, they were shown a model of the whole Parliament building. There you can see once again that circle is what dominates the Parliament. It's not made of squares or anything, but the circle is the key element of this Parliament. But on a tour it's a great thing to see, because you can talk about all the parts where you've been, where you're going to. You really can imagine where you are at the moment. And on this tour they were shown a lot of different parts, of course. In case members of Parliament want to get away from the fast and exciting life, there is a room of silence in Parliament. If you want to pray, there's a cross, there's a menorah, and there are carpets. Fractions rooms and stuff as well, but they were also told about the tradition of the 3 wise men that are annually coming to the Parliament. As you know, children are collecting money for children once a year on the around the 6th of January, and they also come to the Parliament, of course. For visitor groups, there's a very interesting way to get to their seats in Parliament chamber. This is this elevator. It's a round glass elevator, and that leads right to the top of the building, where you have access to the visitor seats. And every visitor group can use this elevator. It's a fun ride, and you have a great view about the whole inside of Parliament. And of course, our visitor group from Münster used that way too. And as you could see, they really enjoyed going to watch Parliament on that way. Of course, one of the 2 major stairs are the big photo choices, as I explained before. And of course, the group from the Buddhist Community in Münster had to make some pictures with Mrs. Wendland as well. And of course, they did it at one of the stairs. And after that, of course, Mrs. Wendland took her time to have a discussion with the group as well in one of the conference rooms. That is an important part of a visit from the constituency, and so it's never left out. The people are supposed to, well, you usually say scrutinize your MPs, but it's much more nicer in a surrounding like that. But as you can see, there are many visitor groups in Parliament. You have to get through there first, and there you see a lot of art again. And this is one of the conference rooms which are used for fraction meetings. They have them in different sizes, once again with a great view on the Rhine. And there Mrs. Wendland welcomes everyone again, and then explains a bit more about the work in Parliament. Today Parliament is in session, so she in between always had to be in Parliament chamber because there were topics she is responsible for. There were, well, we say votes, not divisions, because everything is voted on, but not just not with lobbies. You saw the 3 doors there. That's just in case everyone doubts that enough members of Parliament are there. But usually they just vote by lifting their hand. Of course, when a group from the constituency is there, they have topics from their hometown to discuss. And that, of course, was the case again. And Simone Wendland is a real home-based member of Parliament, and she's always very open to the discussions. And wherever she can, she tries to assist. And of course, she explains how busy the work in Parliament can be. And for example, she has her mobile counting her steps, and she's walking a lot of miles in this building every day. While we were in this discussion, by the way, Parliament adjourned for the day, so we didn't have to hurry that much. So Mrs. Wendland had quite some time for the group. I cut this short, obviously, but we were there in the room, and the people from the constituency had a chance to ask a lot of questions, to listen to a lot of facts about the work and about Parliament and about the parliamentary work in Münster for the Parliament. And so it was quite nice that she could take a lot of time to do so. And we had a lot of fun too. And groups obviously always like the photo opportunities, so especially if there's a window with a view to the Rhine and a member of Parliament on your side, you want to have another photo. By the way, there were a few more of us there, not than them, but than usual, because we were assisting there. So the photographer always got on the photos as well. And we were filming and photographing there anyway. And with this video, we're bringing the film to them in this way too. They thanked us for making this film, and they were happy that they were there on the day when we're doing this. So everyone was happy. That's a nice thing. They were grateful for the visit and had a little gift for Simone Wendland. It's a wooden bracelet that smells very good, by the way. That's supposed to bring luck. That's from the Buddhist community, and it was really nice because she got a bracelet and for her husband, but because of the assistance we gave on that day, we got them too. So I still have it at home. It's a wonderful thing. And for the ones who are very big critics, for a member of parliament, that is not a bribe or something. That is far within the limits what is allowed. Well, and I was there as a creator anyway, not as a politician. Yeah, that's where I got it. Of course, I was holding the camera, so you could with a tripod, so it wasn't that easy. But thank you very much. Of course, the office of Mrs. Wendland has a small gift with information and stuff like that for every visitor as well. And so, as you can see on these bags, it's the Christian Democratic Union, Mrs. Wendland's party, and everyone got the bag with the information, and some goodies were in there as well. I'm quite sure about that. And that, by the way, is the personal assistant of Mrs. Wendland in her constituency. So he's the head of her office in Münster. And of course he's responsible for this group as well. And saying goodbye, as we will now say goodbye to this group too. Was great to see you. I'm looking forward to meeting you all again. It was a nice day, and I hope you had fun too.
You can see the flags. You know it's windy, my tire is flying, the flags are flying. Those are the flags of Germany and North Rhine-Westphalia, and the police there is not there because of threats or anything. They just received new cars and they're showing them to Parliament. Parliament is making sure they get these new cars, and today they are on show.
That was quite a long video, I know, but I didn't want to take out too much of what we've seen and enjoyed in the State Parliament in North Rhine-Westphalia. Thank you once again to Simone Wendland, who has shown us her workplace and gave us a really exclusive tour in Parliament. That is something you don't see every day. We are very grateful to Mrs. Wendland. We are very grateful to her head of constituency office, Jens Heinemann, for joining us there. And of course, best wishes to the Buddhist Community Münster. I hope you enjoyed the video. I thank you for watching. But if you haven't done so, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to click the bell and the notifications so you won't miss another German Politics Explained video. For now, have a nice day and see you soon.